Good morning. So I had something happen today. I've been a bit at war with things, with certain things in my life, and I've been learning a lot about it because I took a bit of a break from a situation, um, and that gave me a chance to notice things that were going on inside of me, notice what I was really feeling, notice what felt right to me and what didn't feel right to me, and to listen to me, to listen to myself. And this morning, I woke up and I heard clashing and clanging and bashing around downstairs, and I thought, sounds like somebody's putting the dishes away. And I thought, I think my daughter is sleeping, and I just sort of had this feeling that it really could only be my son, and I thought, but this is really unusual, and this is really unusual. And I was like, okay, so I laid there appreciating the moment, and a little bit later he came upstairs, and I asked him, I said, were you putting dishes away? And he said, oh, yeah. I was like, wow, I was totally blown away. And very, very grateful. um, so then I had this song going through my head, and it was a U2 song. Like, I knew because I could sort of like hear Bono's voice, and I'm gonna see if I could do it without being too loud. I woke up at the moment when the miracle occurred, and it was really, really interesting because there were other things going on too, and I was really grateful for that. So I've learned something over the last 20-something days, 27 days maybe, and that's that I'm not always honest with myself. Ooh, biggie. And I do my best to really be an honest person because, you know, there's nothing more fulfilling than living your life with authenticity. And if you can't be honest with yourself, then you can't be authentic. And if you can't be honest with yourself, you can't be honest with other people. And if you're living in that way where you are lacking honesty with yourself and with other people, then it's inauthentic. And I understand through my journey that there are a lot of layers to go through. Ooh, there are a lot of layers to go through of stuff. Usually mental stuff, mental patterning, experiences that kind of like circle around our hearts, and that we didn't really process fully. So, oh man, there's so many things I could tell you. Probably not all at once though. So, what I discovered is that when I experience love, and I've known this before, so it's interesting that we can come back to these things because I think of them as sticking points. And when I experience love, and when I experience my intuition flowing through me, I can have a very strong pattern, but I am stronger than my pattern. I can have a very strong pattern that I turn away from it. that I block it, that I hide it, that some part of me lacks a self-worth and feeling of worthiness. So I can block it and I can shut it out. Don't do that, because like it's not good, and that's what makes us depressed. We don't process the love properly. We don't process the moment fully, because these moments are given to us for us to experience. And so we intake the moments, we assimilate them by processing them, and then we eliminate the parts that don't apply, and we eliminate the experience, and we move on. So if you think of us in terms of like my body and my consciousness and my mind and emotions and psychology, psychology, that's a separate thing, I think, but they're all interconnected. So what happens is my body, my being, my experience, it's a river, and things can get clogged because of the psyche, because of what's going on in the psychology and the way that we process our experiences, and we don't process them properly, and then therefore we don't let them release and pass through us. And since love is like a river, when we go with the flow, we're fully functioning properly, and we're in alignment with the river of life. And of course, the river of life, it leads to the ocean, as do all oceans. And sometimes things can get stuck in our river that perhaps other people have placed there. Well, when we're young, that's what happens. We're taught conditionality. We're taught conditions, and we become conditioned, and we develop river reed thinking. So we learn how to dam our river, and then we don't flow with it, and we don't move through the curves, the natural curves and meanders of life, and experience them and appreciate them. Because of course, if we flowed freely down a river, it would be the most beautiful ride in the world. And sometimes we get stuck. So this is what love is. Love is a river. And in order to have self-love, we must have the river flowing through us freely, without conditions, without shutting it off, without putting a lid on so that it can't get in, and without blocking it so that we don't give it away, so that we don't provide it. Because of course, all life, it comes to the river, doesn't it? And it feeds from the river, it drinks from the river. And if we are afraid to let that river flow, then we're pinching it off, and we're actually stopping those whom we come in contact with from being able to drink from that river of life. And if you think about going on a ride down a river, it wouldn't feel very good on a dry riverbed now, would it? And if it is full of water, then it's a very beautiful and smooth ride. So, rather than being a salmon, which is something that I can also do, and try and swim upstream and make it really difficult and hard, I make a vow to myself to follow down the river, because I trust that river. Of all the things in life that I know that river is right. So, what I'd like to do is invite you to join me in traveling down your river and being aware, if you aren't already, and sometimes even if we are aware, we could use a little reminder. So, I want you to come and float on down the river. And I'll see you on the other side. Love you.